Better out than in, I always say.
That's an amen for me, brother.
Yeah. Such a dope intro.
Another lovely intro, right?
Welcome to Smartly Uneducated, everybody. I'm your semi-cool host, Ben. And I'm joined by my awesome co-host, The Wiz.
You're
just
definitely
chilling off
cool,
screen.
Evan, over here. Definitely cool. Not semi-cool. Definitely badass guy. But today is a lovely, lovely Friday afternoon, evening, wherever you're finding yourself. We get a lot of comments, hate about my radio voice, but here's my radio voice. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Friday afternoon. Today we're talking about BlackRock and the horrible atrocities and things that they have done and continue to do, and potentially the corruptness nature around their entire organization based on their finances and things of that nature. It is 100 degrees outside here in the great state of Texas. There has been a tremendous amount of floods here in Texas as well and across the country.
And I'll be honest, my heart goes out to everybody who was affected by that.
Absolutely right. My heart seriously goes out to everybody who's affected. It's a terrible, terrible tragedy. But we're not here to talk about that, unfortunately. We're here to talk about something a little bit more sinister, something a little bit more dangerous, and hidden in plain view, if you will. So without further ado, I always start the show off with a little bit of news articles that sort of get the ball rolling for the conversation. And those of you joining us, we are live streaming everywhere. We're over on Kick, we're over on X, we're over on Instagram, YouTube, your favorite spot. Go pick a seat, go get some popcorn, your favorite beverage, sit down, talk to us, chat with us. Yeah, we're glad to have you.
Yeah.
With that said, NASA has found a $10 sextillion asteroid floating around our universe, our galaxy rather, and they are talking about going to capture it and how it would impact the global economy on a tremendous scale. I wonder if BlackRock's going to land on there first.
Dude, they're not even going to land on it. They're already there.
Yeah, they're going to capture it, right?
They're already there. They already went in. They took over with their scuba deer.
Scuba deer.
Dude, you ever seen them scuba deer?
I done seen a scuba steer.
Them scuba deer. Dude, you ever seen what they do with them antlers? Not a lot. It looks dumb. It's just the goggles hanging on its little twingies. You know?
They got a mouthpiece going deep and down dark
Yeah.
into the caverns of the universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they found a $10 sextillion asteroid. It is full of gold, platinum, and diamonds, and a lot of precious metals like iron and nickel that we use on a regular basis. So there's talks of how to get to it and how to take advantage of that. I say we send, what's his name?
10 hippos to the moon.
Tim Hippos. I don't know who that is.
10 hippos.
10
dude.
hippos. I was saying
Rocket's not getting off the platform.
I was saying Bruce Willis, just like back in Armageddon.
Oh, dude, you almost made me start singing Aerosmith, dude.
Almost had you there, right? Almost had you. In other news, the FBI has started to use polygraphs to test other officials on their loyalties to see who is truly
that's so useful.
loyal to the FBI.
Polygraphs are bullshit.
Yeah, they say if you get anything super negative, you're fired, but no, don't use a polygraph. That sounds insane.
I'm glad I'm not a nervous tester.
Yeah, same.
Psych, I am.
You're
I still passed.
They put me on the polygraph. They're like, "What'd you have for breakfast?" I don't know. I had steak and no shit. I had oatmeal. Fuck. Oh.
Dude, I turned into Chunk one time when I was on. You ever seen the Goonies?
Oh, I have, yes.
Dude, I turned into Chunk on when he just starts spilling the beans.
Oh, like Kevin.
Yeah, just like Kevin from The Office. Yeah, and he's like, "It's one time in the 3rd grade." That's basically what I did, dude. They were just like, "Have you ever done marijuana?" And I was like, "No, I did it like 80 times. No, I don't know. I can't lose count on my hands. And this one time, I even touched the magic mushroom." The question's about marijuana. Oh, well, I did coke too. And don't put me in jail for the rest of my life. Sorry.
And you're not. And you know what, sir? You become director of the FBI.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I can say that Epstein didn't kill himself. Even though we know that's...
So they're using this, and Cash Patel and a few of the other individuals who work there and are part of it are saying they're going to quit and leave the FBI if Pam Bondi isn't fired or quit from her or resigned from her position.
She needs to be fired.
She needs to be fired for sure.
She knew it. She did.
Yes, she does.
She knew.
She does. So, they're all saying that she needs to be let go, or everyone's going to quit, and then we'd have no FBI and yada yada yada.
I heard a rumor that Dan, how do you say his last name?
Bonganilo or
Bondingo or whatever.
Bongino.
Like I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but I heard there's rumors going down the pipeline that he was saying if she's not fired, like she's gone, then he's gonna resign.
Absolutely.
Because, dude, you could tell when Cash Patel did that Rogan
that
interview. Yeah, Cash Patel can tell. You could tell that he was he was lying, and you could see it on his face. He looked troubled on and off throughout that whole thing. He was,
He looked very stressed and underprepared and overwhelmed, and that's not a good sign of somebody who's running the FBI.
No,
I was very excited for whenever he got ushered into the position.
I was too at first.
Now I'm just like, maybe this was a bad idea.
Maybe this was a bad idea.
So we find ourselves today talking about a BlackRock. Are you sort of ready to get in? You got everything prepared over there?
Yet. I know you were gonna share a funny story and do all that.
Yeah,
stuff. I'm sending you links.
Yeah. So I went to the gym today. Kudos to me, everybody. Round of applause. I went to the gym today. Yeah,
dude.
I do it all the time.
4 calories. He goes there for the smoothies.
And by gym, I mean I went to Costco and got the hot dogs and the baked chicken sandwich.
That's tight.
So I went to the gym today. I did a little exercise and my wife is there, and she was using the recovery room they have, where they have saunas and leg compression kits, and I used the leg compression kits, and it was fantastic. My legs got squoze real nice, much like a blood pressure meter at your local CVS or Walgreens, where they go get your arm pressure test.
Yeah.
Did that on my legs, felt great. Afterward, the lady was like, hey, yeah, we also have these infrared saunas. We also have these water jet beds. And over here, we have our tanning section. And I had to go into the tanning section.
Of course you did.
So they have a spray tan booth. And I was inside, and I was asking a lot of questions about it because I was curious. I wondered how dark I could get, if I could then file for immigration status if I got dark enough. She said, yeah, I could. But I didn't do that, obviously, because I'm still a pale, sad white man. But they have this thing called a vitamin C spray. And I wanted to try it because I like vitamin C. I like oranges. I like citrus in general.
Yeah, you would.
And I decided to do it. So I'm pressing the buttons on the machine, and you have to stand there in the buff, completely nude. And I had a head cap on, and I covered my beard and a net spray thing. And this thing was so absolutely useless. It was like a 45-second, someone spits on you, and then you walk out. I felt like a dirty, dirty boy. Like, I stand in there, and it's like, turn around, bitch.
Turn around, bitch.
All right, now let us dry you off. And then it sprays lukewarm water and cold. Dude, it was so gross.
It was so gross.
I felt dirty. And
it's tight.
It's still on me. I haven't showered since. And I come out of this thing, and my wife's looking at me like, how was it? What happened? Like, it shamed me.
It shamed me, like, woman.
Isn't that like, you could hear the robot in there? Fat butt. Overweight. This vitamin C will do nothing. Bubblicious in the chat said I went from saltine to a Ritz cracker.
Which chat is this?
He's in Kick.
He's in Kick? Hell yeah.
Shout out my Kick heads over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my story for the day. I got spray tanned with vitamin C. The robot spit vitamin C all over my body, and here we are. And then I went and got a smash burger.
You love it. You love it when stuff spits all over you, don't you?
I went and got a smash burger and a beer, and here I am.
Yeah, you love it.
And so to start the show off, I have 10 reasons why you should protest BlackRock.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Let's go.
Number 1, BlackRock is profiting off of the suffering of world economies and exploiting the C-19 to further consolidate its global powers.
Nice.
BlackRock staked in unclean energy, weapons, and war threatens the integrity of the EU's environmental guidelines for banks that BlackRock is responsible for developing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the list goes on. They're atrocious, right?
Yeah.
So BlackRock is financing deforestation of the Amazon rainforest.
Yep.
That is despicable. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, by the way, I heard a rumor, everybody. I hear Larry Fink drinks his own pee because he likes the flavor of it. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink continues business relations with the Saudi prince who is responsible for leading a war in Yemen, imprisoning women's rights, and so on and so forth. BlackRock promotes investing in companies that sell weapons used in war. BlackRock's investments are responsible for poisoning the air in the U.S. and around the globe. BlackRock invests profit from war and conflict into Syria, Yemen, Iraq, and Afghanistan, the wars which are fueling the global refugee crises. They invest in weapons, profiting from these weapons, like Lockheed and Martin. BlackRock invests in General Dynamic, a weapons manufacturer that has taken a contract from the government to provide social services to migrant children. So if those 10 reasons aren't enough to already hate this company and BlackRock, you will more than likely after this.
Oh yeah. Bunch of buttholes.
Yeah.
Dirty buttholes. They never wipe, dude.
Boys,
they're the one only does the one wipe a week. That's what they do.
Hey, they need to go get a bidet. I'm telling you right now. Bidet me crazy. Am I right, boys? So over here in the chat, Bubblicious yet again said he can spray me with vitamin D if I want. I don't know how I should take that. And then One Lou said he wants to go first. But anyway, on with the show, shall we?
Yes. Let's go.
How unprofessional. How unprofessional.
How unprofessional of me. Okay. So what I've got going on over here is I'm going to give you guys a little bitty cold open that I wrote. And then we're just going right in. Because I want to set the stage on this. And it's not like some crazy in-depth. It's just something I'm going to read. I wrote it up. So, all right, let's buckle up, boys and girls. Let's get the show on the road. All right, so they told you capitalism means freedom. They told you the free market would save you. But what they never told you is that the market isn't free. You don't get to vote on who owns the farmland. You don't decide who controls the housing supply. You don't choose the companies that dictate what you see, what you hear, or even what you believe. Because when one firm holds the reins to Wall Street, Main Street, and the White House, that's not free enterprise. That's not democracy in any capacity. That's ownership of literally everything. Mm-hmm. And if they own everything and you own nothing, what does that make you? This is not a theory. This is not a conspiracy. Welcome to BlackRock, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's it. After doing all my research, I wrote that this morning.
That's very well said.
Like that's a good way of setting the stage, I felt like.
I mean, Larry Fink and the guy who runs the WHO, who stepped down recently from the WHO, the World Economic Forum. Oh, that's WEF. Sorry. Larry Fink and WEF, the guy who runs WEF, were best buds.
Best buddies.
And they taught, and Charles Schwab was his name.
Schwab.
Is his name. He's still alive.
That guy.
He said that you will own nothing and be happy. I'm sure you've all heard that phrase many, many times. Oh, yeah. It is a very true fact. You're going to keep buying the new car. You're going to keep buying the new phone. You're going to keep buying new clothes.
You're going to go and pay the extra $5 for a gallon of milk.
That's exactly
whether you
right.
like it or not.
That's exactly right.
Oh, yeah. Even down to the simplest things like that.
Yep. And you will be happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you'll be very happy.
So happy, dude.
Yeah.
I'm ecstatic.
Me personally, can't wait.
Dude, I'm so excited that I even am, moved some funds around and tried to see if BlackRock would let me be a part of the team.
He's gonna get married to him.
Then they saw what I was doing online. And they said, get the fudge out of here.
Like, wait a minute, we don't want him around.
But yeah, so You good for me to go ahead and just dive right in?
Let's
All right.
get into it.
So everyone, please keep up. I sent you another email, Senor. So all the links are going to be thrown into all the chats here in just a moment. But with that being said, so all the material, things like that, reference material, things that where I went and found all this information, you guys have access to it too. So let's start this out. And I'm just going to go. So I'll have Evan keep tabs on the comments while I'm going. So if something pops up that's imperative, I'll know to pause.
Yeah.
So, so let's talk about BlackRock. And this is I broke this into sections. So like, let's imagine a company with more financial clout than almost any nation on earth. Yet most people on the street honestly can't even name it. They can't. Most people don't even know who BlackRock is, or they don't know who they really are. They see the name, they think they're just a random Wall Street group. Nope, not even close. So, and that's most people. Oh, sorry, pulling the thing. So, so the world's largest asset manager, which is BlackRock, they handle around $9 trillion in other people's money. So to put that into perspective, BlackRock oversees more wealth than the GDP of Japan and Germany combined. Literally.
Wow.
Yeah. Like literally more than both of them combined. In fact, only the United States and China produce more annually than the assets BlackRock manages for its clients. Like, I'm not making that's straight up hard fact. Do you want me to repeat that again?
I do.
Okay. So the United States and China produce more annually than the assets BlackRock manages for its clients.
That's fair.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Did I? Oh, yeah. I already said that. But yeah. But yet, BlackRock isn't a like a household name like Google or Amazon. It doesn't make cars or phones. It doesn't do anything that's like something that you would know it by, right? Like that's something that you're taking advantage of. But let's talk about what it does control. It controls the money. Or more accurately, it invests money on behalf of pensions, governments, universities, millions of regular people who likely have no idea BlackRock is pulling strings behind their retirement funds. This single firm has become a major shareholder in roughly 40% of all, literally all caps on all, guys. So capital A, capital L, capital another capital L. I'm not making this up, man. It's they have become a major shareholder in roughly 40% of all publicly traded companies in the United States.
Yeah, and that's not just being a shareholder. They are typically number one or number two.
Yeah, that's typically number one or number two.
They are the stakeholder.
Yep.
They are the board chair members.
Yeah. Yeah. Facts, bro. So, where was I? Yeah, so the 40% of all publicly traded companies in the United States. And the largest shareholder in 1 out of every 5 of them globally, from tech giants like Apple, Google, and even oil titans. All the oil titans out there. We're talking ExxonMobil, things like that. Companies like that. Chances are, the reality is that the chances are that BlackRock owns a big chunk of them. And one analysis found that BlackRock holds 5% or more of nearly every company in the S&P 500 index.
Yes, they do.
Essentially, effectively a silent veto or like a green light on corporate decisions across the board. Like, dude, it's insane. And the worst part about talking about this is that I feel like I'm bringing the information, but whether or not people are like sitting here listening to soak it in and actually like recognize what is being discussed right now, like the gravity of it,
That's up to them, right?
That's up to them. So, but yeah, let's keep going. So it's no wonder some people have started calling BlackRock a quote unquote shadow government. See my little quotes in the air, guys? Shadow government. Or they've also been calling them like the fourth branch of government, like an extended. So when financial crisis struck in 2020, who did the U.S. Federal Reserve turn to for help stabilizing the bond market? BlackRock.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me. You know what I'm
Was she coming on the counter?
It wasn't me.
Somebody hanging in the sofa.
It wasn't me.
It
It wasn't me.
Are the words that I told her.
That baby caught me. Oh wait, caught me red-handed, banging on the bathroom floor.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was the lyrics. Okay, I was guessing a little bit because I could. It's been a while since I heard that song.
Shaggy.
Hell yeah, dude. Where was I? Sorry. So yeah, no. During the in the crisis that struck during 2020, the U.S. Federal Reserve turned to BlackRock for help stabilizing the bond market, which is give them more power. Why don't you?
Might as
Give
well.
them everything. So when entire countries need like a financial advice, like here's an example for you, like Greece during its debt crisis, or central banks trying to like calm down like turmoil going on when other like ups and downs are happening periodically. They literally quietly enlist BlackRock's experts behind the scenes, man. Like they do it behind closed doors. No one knows about it. And God, this stuff makes me mad, dude.
Yeah, it does me too.
It gets my blood going. So, all right, I'm just gonna go, man, because
Compose yourself.
I keep stopping for a second because it's just like I'm about to just, and just like go through, you know. Anyways,
Well, the audacity around this company in
Like-
general, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
To think that they are the ultra power in money.
Yep.
Yeah, they guise it in. You could invest in us too. You need like $10 million to make it beneficial for you to invest in BlackRock.
Yeah.
They're not aiming to help this smaller person. They don't care about them. They don't want to care about them. They're not going to care about them.
yeah. The only thing they care about is if they have, you know, like whoever is investing or wanting to get involved in some way.
Yeah, where the money's at.
They got to have fat pockets.
Yeah, absolutely. And they got to then, if you are a company becoming to get very popular and in a public stratosphere, they're going to buy your company through its shares,
Mm-hmm.
which then makes you their slave.
Yep.
Their lackey.
Yep. And well, you know, the BlackRock is so entwined with global like policy that a law professor told Bloomberg, quote, "It's possible to think of BlackRock without thinking of them as a fourth branch of government." And that to me is a very, very stunning statement, because it's like essentially suggesting that BlackRock has powers traditionally reserved for nations, but BlackRock's influence didn't like emerge overnight or anything.
Oh, absolutely not.
On the historical background kind of context of this, guys, it all started in 1988.
That's right.
If you aren't aware of it. And it started as like this, like pretty I guess the word would be like modest investment firm. And it was all founded by Larry Fink, drinks pee, and a handful of partners, right? And Fink had been a Wall Street hotshot. He actually helped invent mortgage-backed securities in the 80s, man. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he helped invent the mortgage-backed securities in the 1980s. But he also got humbled after a miscalculation led to major losses. Lost a lot of money, dude. A lot of money. From that. It did not go well for him. Which is a valuable lesson in risk management, you know? So he was determined to build a firm obsessed with managing risk. That's where his head was. And Fink and co-founders, including Robert Capito, if I'm saying the name right.
That is correct.
And Susan Wagner, launched BlackRock under the umbrella of Pete Peterson's Blackstone Group Pete Peterson's Blackstone Group. Sorry, I almost made that a run-on sentence, man. But fun fact, everyone, BlackRock was named to to distinguish from Blackstone. So two firms that started together, even though today they're separate, giants in finance, like they're completely separate and they're both conglomerates, like they're huge. But by 1994, BlackRock split off from Blackstone and started its like insane rapid ascent upwards. So you just kept climb. Now in the 90s, in the 2000s, BlackRock grew by being basically, in layman's terms, being the smartest guy in the room about risk. That's it. You just had to be better than everyone else in that room, and they did it.
Well, kudos to them in that regard.
And they developed a cutting-edge software platform called Aladdin, which is short for Asset Liability Debt and Derivative Investment Network. So Aladdin was like Wall Street's like crystal ball, essentially. Right. It could analyze and track millions of investments, helping institutions understand their exposure to everything from interest rates to currency fluctuations. And this right here made BlackRock incredibly valuable to banks, everyone. Like, incredibly valuable. Sorry. I thought I was about to cough for a second, and it was like, no, you're not going to cough. But it would analyze and track millions of investments, helping institutions understand their exposure to everything from interest rates to currency fluctuations, things like that. And that made sorry, I already said that part, or not this part, but when I said made BlackRock incredibly valuable. And the thing is, the reason why they were so valuable to like banks and insurers is because the banks and insurers feared like all the random surprises that were happening at that time and what had been happening to them constantly. And so the fact that BlackRock had this stellar record and they were doing so amazing and they created this thing, they're like, oh, we only trust them. We only trust them. Like I said, they just had to be the smartest person in the room. Yeah. That's it. Or at least make it look like they were.
And when you have very little competition in the early 90s, it's a little bit easier to do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They may be the largest hedge fund in the world right now, but they had to start somewhere. And it started early and became very corrupt very fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, dude, it went corrupt. Like, I don't know when the corruption truly happened. I don't know when it made that turn in the book. But it happened pretty damn quick.
Oh, yeah.
I would bet money it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
And then I want to say 2008 solidified it.
Ooh.
And I'll get into 2008.
Can't wait till you get there. The housing crisis, baby.
Yeah, dude, I got that whole thing. But so I mentioned Aladdin earlier, that software platform they created. So just to kind of like give a little sidebar on this, think of Aladdin as the world's most powerful financial AI back in a time before all the AI integration we're having now. That's the simplest way to put it in layman's terms for people now to understand.
Interesting. Okay.
All right. Let's keep going. So by 2004, though, BlackRock had over $1 trillion under management. This is in 2004, dude.
That's crazy.
Over $1 trillion under management but the real turning point was, I already said it earlier, 2008. So I'm going to give you guys a very real example here about the 2008 crisis. So when the global financial system melted down in 2008, BlackRock was still only, quote unquote, managing about $1.3 trillion. However, Larry Fink's risk enterprise and Aladdin's reputation essentially put BlackRock in the, I guess you call it like the Captain Save-A-Ho seat. Like, I'm the rescuer. Absolutely. Like, call 911. I'm your guy. I'm the emergency medical that's going to show up, the EMS, and help you guys if you need some help. And that's literally what they filled into. The U.S. government tapped BlackRock. I've been waiting for that joke to come up. I have a few of those randomly. In
I got a few Larry Fink jokes and BlackRock jokes too.
Yeah.
I'll be dishing out here.
Yeah, I love it. So they tapped BlackRock back, to help unwind toxic assets from Bear Stearns and AIG. Here was a private company essentially doing, sorry, I lost my place. I was making sure I wasn't reading the wrong spot. So they're basically doing cleanup for Wall Street and then getting firsthand look at the books of major banks. So they were getting to see everything behind the curtain, all the ledgers, everything, financial transactions, the works. Like they had views of everything. And that right there elevated BlackRock's status, essentially. Like that propelled them up to a whole level no one could
If you're able to
handle.
see AIG's infrastructure and be able to help manage their data, manage their money, you're going to become a big name within the game even faster.
Yeah.
Because AIG was a huge conglomeration.
Mm-hmm.
They probably still are. I don't know much about them today, but I do know that they were dangerous. And now BlackRock helped the dangerous people. Look at this.
Yeah. No shit. No crap. I was making sure you were done. There was none else. Okay. So BlackRock did benefit indirectly, not so much from like huge fees or anything like that. So in fact in 2020 they only earned roughly 48 million, or I think it's reported 48 million from like federal programs, like Fed programs. Peanuts that's literally peanuts to them, right? Because they manage trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. But from the trust and inside knowledge that was being gained, basically in 2009, just after the crisis, BlackRock made a blockbuster deal, bro. It acquired Barclays Global Investors. It acquired it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Including the iShares ETF business.
And that's where their iShares began to go wild.
Yes. They acquired it. And it literally was like catapulting BlackRock's assets to around it was roughly $3 trillion overnight, man.
Yeah.
Overnight. So by the 2010s, BlackRock became the indispensable investor. Indispensable investor. Its Aladdin system wasn't just guiding BlackRock's own funds or anything like that. Dozens of major institutions started using Aladdin to manage, their portfolios, meaning BlackRock's risk software was indirectly overseeing upwards of $20 trillion in assets worldwide.
Wow, that's something I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
That is an astronomical number. To be able to control $20 trillion worldwide.
Yeah.
And what year was this? Do you know?
This was I think it was it's 2010. It was the 2010s.
So this is after the housing market crash.
Yes.
Everybody was probably in a panic. Then Larry Fink and his cronies swooped in saying, "We can solve your problems. Let us help you. Look at us. We already managed $1 trillion during all of this crash. Let us help you." And they probably said yes without any problems.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Fink walks into a room and says, "I've got everything under control." And all of his employees whisper, "Yeah, even our coffee machine has a portfolio."
Oh, hell.
All right.
You're so dumb. I love it. I love it very much, though. But that's but this is all on top of trillions of BlackRock's own assets, right? So talking about that upwards of $20 trillion in assets worldwide overnight that happened. So, but that's on top of the trillions of BlackRock's own assets. Now, I'm going to give a little note here for you guys. This is a key mechanic. Even money BlackRock doesn't directly manage might be run. It's not even might. It's blatantly it is. It's being run through BlackRock's systems and advice because they get brought in as advisory, all that crap, and which just extends their influence well far beyond like a $9 trillion or whatever, like whatever financial stuff they're dealing with. It doesn't matter. They have the influence. So they literally can contort and manipulate a large scaled environment to everything they want.
They can control the narrative.
Yes, they control
for whatever they want,
yes,
right?
Yes.
If they own all of Texas, and Texas says, "Hey, we don't want to be a part of this anymore. We want to sort of back off from you," they're not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say, "Well, we can leverage this and make y'all more money, or we can sort of split it half and half." But to be able to control the world's narrative, that shouldn't be a thing.
No, it shouldn't be.
The fact that they had in 2010, 2013, right around then, right? They have already controlled the narrative and the worldwide descriptors, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
That's a shocking sign of what's happening. I mean, wasn't Larry Fink the guy who gave Donald Trump's so-be assassin the gun?
Yeah.
There's a
very valuable point.
There is a photo of Larry Fink handing that guy, I forget his name. We don't need to know his name.
He doesn't matter. He's dead now.
He's a useless SOB. Handed him a rifle, like a couple days before the actual shooting, which is a pure sign of control and henchmanism.
Yep. Facts. Spewing facts, bro. Preach.
Preach, baby. Go off, King.
Huh?
Go off, King.
Hallelujah.
You threw off my groove.
Isn't that what that one TV evangelist guy does?
Yes, it is.
The one that looks like a creepy,
looks like a toad.
Yeah, that dude's a crap. We should do an episode on that.
Yeah, that'd be a good one, actually.
Yeah, but so let's get back into it. So by now, BlackRock had woven itself essentially into the fabric of our entire global economy, plain and simple. So there's no corner of finance that was untouched. It owns stakes in everything from big banks. So we're talking J.P. Morgan, Citigroup, Goldman and Sachs, etc. Chase. Well, it's J.P. Morgan, right? But it doesn't stop there, because it also goes to big tech. So like Google, Apple, Big Oil, ExxonMobil, Chevron, retail giants like Walmart. They own Walmart too, bro. They got their towns.
I think it's like 7.5% of Walmart. They own 7.5%.
Yeah,
which is more than what the actual owners of Walmart hold.
Yeah, and
I guess I can look that up real quick.
Yeah. If you can confirm that real quick, just to make sure. I have it in one of those links, but there's a lot in there. But where was I? So, sorry. And then you had mentioned Lockheed Martin. So like even defense contractors, Lockheed Martin, they're all wrapped up in there too, and also media companies. So it's often said, and which is only half joking, that BlackRock and its fellow.
I told a lie.
What?
BlackRock owns 3.7% of Walmart.
Okay, 3.7. Now there is one that they own like 7%. There's so many different ones. Because if you look at their assets,
Costco, they own 7%.
Yeah, we're gonna be dropping in like all the links as we go through each section. So like you guys can look at the source material for yourselves, and some of them are direct. It's just money. It's just numbers.
Yeah,
and you can see the percentages because it's all public information. So, where was that? But yeah, so it is often said, like I was saying before, and only half joking, everyone, that BlackRock and its fellow giant, Vanguard, own everything. And I've got some stuff on Vanguard that will be coming up on and off. This is more centric on BlackRock, though, this whole episode. Now, let's be clear about something. Owning in this context means like holding shares on behalf of clients. So this is a very important nuance, I guess would be the best word to use for it. This is a very important nuance because BlackRock usually isn't spending its own cash to buy 5% of Apple.
Oh, of course not.
Nope. It's using the combined investments of millions of people in index funds.
Which is something I am a fan of. Okay, let's make this clear. If you can get all of your family together to pitch in money, $10,000, whatever they can afford, to buy a piece of land, to when everybody can go live on it, I'm okay with that. I am. If everybody then pitches in money to invest in something to then grow your personal economy, That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever you have a multi-conglomerate hedge fund company taking money from civilians, companies, politicians, other corporations to then invest into the economy, not only America, but Japan and England and all these other first world, second world countries, that becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Especially when they become the major stakeholder.
Yeah. Dude, it's rotten to its core is what they've become and everything that they do, because they're taking something and they're, taking something this and guising it as capitalism and free market, but it's not.
It's definitely
it's
not.
a very perverted and manipulated and controlled version. So on the surface value, it gives you the illusion that you have this freedom and these capabilities to go and like, hey, this is a free market. I can go and buy this. I can sell this. I can do this. I can start a business. I can do this. Blah 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 blah.
I think illusion was a very good term to use there, because it gives you the feeling that you're helping, that you're making your life better, but you're not doing that.
Yep.
You are in fact making their life better.
Oh, you're making their lives amazing.
Even if you give them $10, $20, any sort, it's like adding a grain of rice to a rice pile.
Yeah.
Any bit helps.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, we'll guarantee you returns on your investment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the price of what?
Yeah. What is the price? That's the question. Skyrocket, giant, insane price lifts in rent.
Yeah.
Making it harder for you to buy a home. I mean, the list goes on, and we're about to get into all of that. Food. Breathing clean air.
Clean food?
Clean food, too. Well, like, especially clean food, because but yeah, so, what was
Sustainable diets and food?
Yeah, I meant to mention one other thing in here, is that BlackRock usually isn't spending its, its own cash to buy, like, 5% of Apple. I'm saying this so it would make sense to what I'm about to say. It's using all the investments of millions of people, in index funds, right? But even as a middleman, BlackRock wields the voting power of all of those shares. They have all the voting power.
Yes, they do.
Like, holy crap. And it can literally vote a shareholder meeting. It can vote at shareholder meetings, influence board elections, strategic decisions at virtually every major company. And that right there, guys, that's real bloody power.
Like United Healthcare, for instance.
Yeah. Even if technically, like, BlackRock is just the custodian, right? Let's call him a custodian, in metaphorically speaking here.
In legal terms.
Yeah, in legal terms, the custodian. In practice, CEOs have to pay attention when Larry Fink speaks. Because basically, like, BlackRock doesn't, like, literally own the world, but it can control basically a lot of what happens in the world's boardrooms.
Okay, hold on. Let's put a number. Let's put a number to that.
Okay, go ahead.
If BlackRock is in a meeting, I'll give a perfect example with United Healthcare, and they're having a meeting of, oh no, our CEO just got murdered. BlackRock could then go and have a large vote on who would be replacing that CEO. Inversely, they could then sell all of their position, which is 8%. Which let me tell you right here. United Healthcare. Oh, good. Where'd it go? There's so many of them. Hold on. 8%, which is 75 million shares. They could tank the company.
Oh yeah.
So
if they wanted to get rid of it, I mean, we see it in the ESG program all the time.
Absolutely. So it's like it's like a mafia, right?
Yeah.
They say, oh, you don't want to listen to us? My vote doesn't matter? Fine. We're going to sell all of our shares.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose $500 million or what have you.
Dude, it's messed up.
That sounds like blackmail. That sounds like BlackRock's blackmail.
They got him by the balls.
BlackRock, blackmail.
We always talk about how we roll up with the Maui Fires in the trunk of a black Honda Civic with a banana clip AK-47 style. But you know what?
I saw an article the other day about the Maui Fires. I don't think we should be joking about that anymore.
I'm still going to make jokes about it.
A lot of those victims were given sexual favors for food.
What?
Yes.
Are you being serious?
Deadly serious.
Oh,
yes.
never mind. I'm not gonna make those jokes anymore.
Yeah. A lot of the victims of the Maui fires had to give sexual favors to FEMA and Blue Cross Red Shield to get
Do
food.
we know this for a fact?
This is a fact, yes.
And no one's talking about this.
Nobody, yeah, I guess not. I saw an article and I read a lot about it the other day.
Oh, we're gonna have to do a deep dive.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's horrible.
It's
I had not.
absolutely like to get water.
Is it okay to go postal yet? Like, dang, dude.
Yeah, it's disgusting. So I don't really feel like we should be. Can we change the Maui fires joke to the LA fires, brother? Got that pulling over the LA fires with my AK-47s.
Oh my god.
Doesn't have the same ring to it though, unfortunately.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, it's awful.
I had no idea.
Diabolical. It's
That
disgusting.
is,
And FEMA, guess what? Is owned by BlackRock.
yeah. I mean, it's not funny, but ironically,
It's
funny.
ironically funny. Absolutely.
But yeah. But all of this has led to a growing scrutiny that was transpiring. So you got like critics from both left and right are basically asking, who elected BlackRock? Who elected them? Because they have so much power, they have so much say, they have so much sway. Like, who elected these people? Like, how did we end up with a colossal shadow bank, essentially? You know, that's like basically too big to fail. Like, in its own right, you know? Like, yet operates mostly behind closed doors. Like, no one knows crap. So, even regulators have wrestled with this question. So, after 2008, some wanted to designate BlackRock as a SIFI, or SIFI.
Okay.
I call it SIFI.
SIFI.
Which is a systemically important financial institution. So basically labeling it too critical to the system to go under. Like, so it's always going to be maintained. It's a fail-safe. You know, ingrained in, man. It can't ever fail. They'll get bailed out and brought back up. They're still in power.
Yeah.
Can
Can I give a quick interesting fact about our government in BlackRock?
Yeah, go ahead.
There were 4 former employees of BlackRock who are now in the government. And there's also facts and stats about the money that has been contributed to different current Senate seats within our government. For instance, Brian Dees, he is
Nuts.
he joined the Biden administration, and he was a high-ranking position within BlackRock. Also, Mike Pyle, he worked at BlackRock before serving as a top economic advisor to Vice President Harris during the Biden administration. Also, Cheryl Mills, who was previously held position in the Clinton administration, was the chief of staff to Hillary Clinton. And she was a high-ranking official board member for BlackRock.
No shit.
Yes. Wally Adiamo, he is nominated as a deputy treasury secretary for our government. He was the chief of staff for BlackRock's CEO, Larry Fink.
Yep.
So that's just a small portion of individuals who we have factualized into our government.
Yep. Facts, bro. Facts.
Scary shit. Sorry for cursing. I'm trying my best over here not to curse so much. Scary stuff, huh?
Yeah. Dude, it's so messed up.
It is. It is a monopolized conglomeration that knows no bounds.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you right now that BlackRock lobbied really hard against all of what I had just said, and it succeeded. So to this day, it isn't regulated like a bank or an insurance company.
No, absolutely
not in any capacity. It flies and it literally flies under the radar. Everyone of many very strict rules, and it has literally like tentacles in every market that's out there. Like it's wild the level of control and influence that they have and where they have their talents leached into. So here we have, it's essentially a paradox, right? So BlackRock is everywhere, controlling trillions, shaping industries, advising governments, but it's also nowhere in public disclosure, man. There's no BlackRock superstore in your town square.
Nope.
Nothing like that. There's like their influence is like it's exercised in just boardrooms, regular meetings. Like not splashy like, the stupid like TV ads you might see for something, or like political ads or rallies or anything like that.
So BlackRock does produce ads.
They do, but they don't do what I'm talking. They've been doing it recently, but they weren't doing it for a long time.
Every attempted assassination on our now current president, BlackRock had the assassin in the commercials.
I know. Well, no, sorry. That's a recent thing that's going on, but they weren't advertising before. Like,
they didn't have to.
It's a very recent thing.
And they still don't have to, but I don't know why they're doing it personally, but
I have no clue either, bro. It's beyond me.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're doing that part, like what their motive, like, well, obviously know the motive, but what is the motive, So just to close out this section, but yeah, no, like we have we have a paradox. So BlackRock is everywhere. They're controlling trillions, shaping industries. They're advising governments, but it's also nowhere in any form of public disclosure. There's no, like I said, I referenced like what example I give, a BlackRock Superstore, right? Like all that crap, the TV ads, all that stuff. So this transparency that we are talking about here, is exactly what makes a lot of people nervous when they actually start looking into this and finding out about things.
Well, yeah,
because it's like, wait, what? You don't have to follow any of these rules. This is a massive conflict of interest. You have full control. You literally have control. This is it. And it's like, what does this mean for any form of like markets and like any form of democracy in general? Like when so much power is concentrated in one firm that's not really accountable to voters. It's not accountable for anything, right? So yeah, and that's the end of that's the end of my first like section of where we're at. So if you want to throw section 2 stuff in there, I
already have.
All right, let's keep going, because this is more of this is going to tackle the illusion of I guess competition, like of markets, like competition across the board.
You want to hand me a beer before you start?
Yeah, I can. Do you want to talk into the camera while I do so?
Sure, bro. Hello, everybody. It's my turn to run the show. The other one, yeah. So, thank you for hanging out with us as we discuss BlackRock. We all know the implications of what this actually comes down to is mass control and mass manipulation to control your brain. So, take time out of your life to go read a book and hug your family and tell a loved one you love them, because the only thing you can control is your immediate life, as long as BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street have major control over the world.
Yeah.
You may think that you are controlling your life whenever you see a billboard and an advertisement for the newest Coca-Cola, but that is not true.
Yeah.
They put it there on purpose and for a reason, because that is where you will be most likely to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Turn off your television. Keep us on. Turn notifications on and don't forget to follow along.
Put it onto a pair of headphones, and if you got like let's say you got a pregnant girlfriend or wife, just start playing our stuff and put those headphones right over her belly.
Listen to us during coitus.
Yeah, dude.
The sound of my voice should be an aphrodisiac.
That's amazing, man. That's what I want.
What? Aphrodisiacs?
Yeah, why not? Okay.
Just listen to my voice.
Just listen to the voice. So this one,
we're going to run an ad. It's an hour in.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We're going to give a little shout out to our sponsors and all that fun jazz. So catch you in a second. Hey everyone, we're going to take a quick pause to give credit where it's due. That intro track you can't help but bob your head to? Well, that's Ship of Theseus by Dustin Beck, and it's produced to perfection by David Southern. Big love to both of these guys for setting the vibe before we, well, open our mouths. And real quick, a huge shout out to Badcat Studio. They whip up some of the random art pieces that you see in our background on our cameras, plus some of the quirky bumpers that we sneak in between segments. Now go show them some love on Instagram at badcat.studio or hit up tinyurl.com/badcat-studio. Now, do us a solid. Please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you waste time online. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Rumble, X, TikTok, Instagram, all of the usual rabbit holes. Or you can just go and click on the link tree on any one of our profiles and you can just dive right in. Before we dive back in, let's pause for something that really matters. Child trafficking is real. It's horrifying and it happens closer to home than most of us want to really believe or admit. Every single day, kids are exploited and stolen of their futures. Awareness is the first step to ending this. If you ever see something suspicious, speak up. In the US, you can call the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888 or text HELP to 233733. And if you believe a child is in immediate danger, always call 911. You don't have to wait for someone else to fix this. Get informed, talk with your kids, and look up legit organizations in your community working to protect children and support survivors. A little effort locally can save lives globally. No joke. All right, well, thank you for caring enough to listen, and we'll be back going here shortly. And welcome back, everybody. So let's get into this. So this is where we're going to go a bit step further, and I'm going to be going pretty quick, so please keep up. Evan already provided the source material and the links, all that stuff. So, excuse me, I had to burp, and I think I have to burp again. So this is all about the illusion of like competition, essentially. So this is basically going to dive into like how BlackRock's power spans virtually every major industry. So like we're talking about tech, pharma, oil, banks, like you name it. So BlackRock, isn't, we already covered that it's not investing in one sector or anything like that. So let's really peel this open. So let's look at the hard evidence. So BlackRock is consistently among the largest shareholders of major rival corporations. Apple and Microsoft are each about 6 to 7% owned by BlackRock. It's similar for like Google and Meta. Like BlackRock holds 6% of each. Amazon is about like 5.4% or something like that. It's in the 5% range. You've got Pfizer that's over 7%. ExxonMobil is like 6.3%. You got JP Morgan and Chase or whatever, that's 6.6%. These are enormous ownership stakes. I don't think you guys I know we're saying like 6% or 7% or 5%. That's massive compared to everyone else. And like I said, these are enormous ownership stakes. And then considering that a 5% holding in a $1 trillion company is $50 billion of stock. Mm-hmm. So, and remember, BlackRock is typically not alone. So Vanguard often owns even more. And State Street, remember, so we're talking about the big three here now, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, isn't really all that far behind. So, for example, in Apple, Vanguard owns 8.8%, while BlackRock owns 6.9% of all shares. Just to show you the difference between what Vanguard owns compared to what?
Can I tell you a scary fact about State Street?
Yeah. Throw it in there.
State Street owns 15% of Lockheed Martin.
Wait, what?
Yep. State Street owns 15% of Lockheed Martin.
I'm having a great I'm just laugh if you're sad. Anyways, sorry. But yeah, Vanguard often owns even more. Sorry, I already talked about that. Where was I? Oh yeah, so Vanguard owns 8.8%, while BlackRock owns 6.9% of all shares in Apple. In Microsoft, Vanguard holds about 8.1% to what BlackRock owns, which is 6.7%. So across the board, the big three investors, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, collectively hold 15 to 20% ish, or even more, of most large companies.
Let's put that into instance with a Bank of America. They own 0.4%. That's 0.4% of AT&T. So to take that into understanding, these big names like Bank of America. That's a huge name in the world.
Yep.
They don't own 1% of anything except for two companies, which is Goldman and Sachs and Automatic something. I don't know the rest of the name of it. But they don't own very much.
Yeah.
So you know that huge name, right? They don't own very much. But then you have BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, the hidden names. They own it all.
Yeah. Dang, man. It's just wild. But to continue where I was, after all those numbers that we just rattled off of who owns what percentages, like this is literally like a tiny club of fund managers that quietly behind the curtain wields voting control over huge slices of corporate America, man. Like they have full dominance on this. So it's like sorry, let's just keep going. Sorry. This is literally just a form of essentially like quiet what would be the word? Consolidation.
Yeah, quiet consolidation.
So when you check shareholders list, the same three names will just keep popping up at the top of company after company. And just to throw another fact out there, like there is research that has shown that BlackRock and Vanguard are among the top three shareholders of every single company. And I know I mentioned it earlier, but I'm saying it again, in the S&P 500 index. So in 84% of those companies, either BlackRock or Vanguard, it's the number one largest investor. So just let that sink in. So virtually the entire market reports the same shareholders. The entire market. It's essentially like competition on paper, but common ownership in reality. That's what it is. So BlackRock's top 25 equity holdings. Now this is referencing from 2023. So Apple and Microsoft alone accounted for over $300 billion of BlackRock's investments. So about $171 billion in Apple and $155 billion in Microsoft. Also in the top holdings of that are Amazon, which is $63 billion. You got Google/Alphabet, which is combined, and it's $82 billion. Nvidia, $51 billion. You got Meta, $32 billion. Even ExxonMobil, which is $30 billion. So in total, BlackRock's top 25 equity stakes were worth over $1 trillion, representing roughly 30% of its entire stock portfolio.
Yeah.
So basically, the takeaway on this is that BlackRock has like just insanely deep, what's the word for it? Ownership, essentially, in literally like every major sector. We're talking tech, finance, healthcare, energy, you name it. It's all at once. So this structure is this has like insane implications. I hope you guys understand this, because companies that should be competitors ultimately, ultimately have the same owners, but they're competitors. So why would companies fight tooth and nail if their biggest shareholders don't want them to, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So for instance, like economic theory predicts that when firms are owned by an overlapping set of investors, they compete far less aggressively. And that's exactly what's literally happening right now. Executives know that BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, the big three, hold stakes in all their industry rivals, so they don't like internalize, right? They don't internalize the idea that profits for the whole industry matter more than the market share wars. So like a Yale study, which is in one of the links that we sent in the chat, put it very, very like to the point and very blunt. Blah, blah, blah. Because, and they said, share the same set of shareholders, they may be more hesitant to compete. And it's a full-on study on this, which with each other, by the way, like hesitate to compete with each other. So instead of trying to undercut rivals, it's often like in mutual interest of shareholders to keep prices high and fatten everyone's profits. That it's a mutual benefit that's happening, and that's what they push for. So it's like essentially like having one coach for all teams in a league. You're not going to see a real fight. The coach just wants the whole league to do well. So you go to a UFC fight and everything's a draw every time. Or this person may go down this fight, but he's going to come back and win the next two. It's just a rigged system to give you the illusion that you're watching something, that you're like if you're betting on something or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So all of this is extremely common now. Like as of now, it is insanely common. And that is called, and it has a name, just so everyone knows, it's called common ownership. If you all have never heard of that, it's called common ownership. And it's literally everywhere in our full economy. Like, so due to these, basically due to these giant asset managers, right? So research really confirms it's just hurting us. It's hurting consumers, man. So like when companies don't truly compete, all the prices just stay high, man. And then, would be otherwise, then they would be otherwise, And pretty much any form of innovation would potentially stall because like, why would you innovate if your competitors aren't threatening you or your position? Why would you? That makes no sense. Why would you? You wouldn't. That's why they're not. Dude, it's all happening right now. You guys should be pissed. I'm pissed.
I'm pissed too.
I want some money.
I don't think it's the money thing.
I want some money though. Money be nice. You can buy stuff. But anyways, sorry, you look like you're about to say something.
No, I was not.
Okay, cool. Okay, so there is one academic study modeled the economy-wide impact under the whole common ownership model. Firms charge academic study modeled the economy-wide impact. Oh, sorry, I just read the same line over and over of my notes. My bad. So basically, firms charge higher prices and make more money, but people buy fewer goods and get less value for their money. Hence the grocery store. So like essentially profits go up, consumer welfare goes down, and a wealth transfer from the public to shareholders. That's literally what it is. And these numbers are stunning, guys.
Yeah, they really are shocking.
It's baffling. Like, yeah, man, it's just it's insane how how stunning this is. So let's just look at one scenario. Industry-wide profits were $370 billion higher under common ownership. $370 billion higher under a common ownership setup. While consumer surplus was roughly, I think it was just under $800 billion lower. So
That's
nearly
insane.
Yeah, so nearly 800 billion in consumer value is lost because of this stupid hidden network that's being, kept quiet behind the scenes. Again, because most people don't even understand this stuff. I didn't even understand this stuff until I started diving into it.
I have read about BlackRock a lot.
I know you have. You're the one who got me into it.
Yeah, we did an episode about BlackRock maybe a year ago now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That was just me mostly talking crap on Larry Fink because I hear he likes to drink pee. But the true nature of this is bigger than you can imagine. Most of these recessions we fall into are because of these companies.
Yeah.
They do it specifically to gain money for their shareholders. That's it. That is it.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's not that much money for the shareholders.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's sad.
No, it's not. It is really sad, though.
You have to, like I said earlier, you have to invest like $10 million for this to be profitable for you.
Yeah.
And most people don't have that money.
No, most people don't, man.
And if you have that kind of money, you don't need to be investing in BlackRock.
Yeah.
You don't need to be.
You don't need to be. But look, I want to drive the point home with a very concrete example. So think of, let's just say the tech sector, right? The Apple, Google, Meta, Facebook, whatever. They may have, like, these tech giants may have, like, headlines that where it looks like they're sparring with each other, right? Like button heads,
Yep.
going back and forth. But their shareholder base is basically identical, guys. It's basically identical. BlackRock and Vanguard each own roughly 6 to 8% of all three companies. All three. And so if Apple tried to, for instance, like if Apple tried to absolutely like crush, like say Google in some market, well, who loses? Not BlackRock.
Definitely not.
They don't lose at all. Like it owns such massive chunks of both. So it doesn't want like a price war or anything that slashes profits. The same goes in banking. We're talking like JP Morgan versus Citi versus Wells Fargo. Like check their top owners. Check it. Check the top owners, guys. Check them because it's them. It's just them. So like for instance, let's bring up pharma as well in this example. Pfizer versus its quote-unquote competitors. Like, two of the biggest managers, BlackRock and Vanguard, are each among the top 5 shareholders of almost 70% of the largest 2,000 U.S. companies. That's 70%, bro. The incentive to compete isn't there. It's the illusion of competing. They control the media, because we're about to get into that, because they own CNN, Fox, all of those. You've been wondering who controls the media? Remember how we all been asking that question? Who controls the media? I'm almost positive it's just the big 3. It's all 3 of them. It's not just one. It's all 3. Because everyone's like, well, who's the one controlling the media to spew and shoot out propaganda, to manipulate true information, and like lie about narratives, lie about news stories? I don't know. The big 3.
The people who own all
they're the ones
companies?
who they have to listen. They have to go to them on their advisory board. Let that sink in, guys. You guys wonder who pulls the strings. You guys, the government does. No. It's the secret bank.
It's a secret elite.
Yeah, it's the big 3. That's what I'm leaning to now. I'm like 90% certain that they're the ones who
I'm 100% certain on it.
I'm not done researching certain aspects of the media side. There's a couple of areas that are like separating away from this that I'm still digging into, but I'm like, dude, I'm almost 100% there. Like, I'm trying to get evidence.
Yeah, there's plenty of it.
But anyways, so
Apex DMT in the chat said that we would like to talk about Whitney Webbs if we talk about the content around BlackRock, which our last episode we absolutely have talked about Whitney Webb and her whistleblowing on the things that BlackRock has done.
Yep, we did that. We did talk about that. Now, granted, our last BlackRock episode, like the stuff I have that I'm about to start listing out, like and the stuff we already said, like we covered some of that.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely way more detailed on this time around. Because I've just been going. So, but yeah, I like that comment. Nice. Thumbs up, bro, Steve. So, yeah. Like I said, 2 of the biggest managers, BlackRock, 2,000 U.S. companies, right? And it's 70%, man. So BlackRock stakes in top companies, and this is late 23. The chart, sorry, not the chart. Pretty much any like small percentage can just, that you see in difference in these numbers, it just translates to in copious amounts of money and influence, huge influence, because they're on every single board, every advisory board. They control the votes. Yeah. So let's keep going. But so I want to throw a kicker in here, guys. So it's all of this is legal because it's framed as normal asset management. That's how they frame it. BlackRock and its peers, like the other 2, Vanguard and State Street, they're not like a classic cartel, right? Let's use the cartel example. They're not like a classic cartel meeting, like in some smoky back room or sitting on the back of some really crappy F-150 or something, with like low boy and the tires stick out a little bit too wide on the sides, that ghetto crap. But it's not like it's not it's not like that. Sorry, I just pictured it in my head. It's not like that. They're index funds and ETFs holding stocks for just millions of investors.
Yeah.
And they will tell you that they're simply managing other people's money. And in BlackRock's own words, BlackRock does not own these companies. We invest on behalf of our clients who are the true owners. Fog the mirror bullshit tactics.
Yes.
Sorry for the cussing.
They're just fogging the mirror.
Yep. So this is the official line, guys. So like we're just caretakers, right? And it's true because that the money ultimately belongs to the pension fund.
Yep.
It is. The 401k investors, it is, etc. But here's the grid of it, though. BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street wield the voting rights for all of those shares, like all of them. They decide how to vote in board elections and on corporate policies. So effectively using clients' pooled stakes as one enormous block of influence, and on corporate policies, effectively using the clients' pooled stakes as like one enormous block of influence. That's it. And basically, like the executives know that the big three vote as a block. As a block most of the time. So like these firms they coordinate behind the scenes via like a centralized governance team essentially. And so from a CEO's perspective, BlackRock is the owner when a fund like BlackRock controls 5% or more of your stock. And so you listen to them. Whether those shares are beneficially owned, right, by index fund investors or not, that's why scholars call BlackRock and the other tech giant, not tech giants, but the other investing giants, like these like de facto owners, right?
There you go.
Of corporate America, and they may not have legal majority ownership of any single company, but they have full, unadulterated influence on a cataclysmic level scale. Like it's I don't even know how to wrap my head around it. Just think about the ability to sway anything around the world anytime you want, across any form of economy or of currency, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So don't expect asset managers to blow the whistle on each other, guys. They're not gonna. But yeah, and just to make a point, because there was a person that I was arguing with this morning, and I made sure to throw it in my notes here because it pissed me off. Or it didn't piss me off. I just got annoyed with it, really.
Yeah, if you follow us on X, you would have seen the whole
exchange that was going on. But like the dude did make a really good point at one point, right? He did. Because he said if any of this were illegal, BlackRock's competitors like Vanguard would have every incentive to report it. If it were illegal.
If it were.
Yeah, sorry. That's what he was saying. He said if it were illegal. So I'm just playing on it. It's like, no, it's a good point. If it were illegal, BlackRock's competitors like Vanguard and stuff like that would have every incentive.
But would they really? Would they really have every incentive?
No, but in one perspective, you could say they would.
Because if
in this framework, right,
if they get BlackRock in trouble, and BlackRock then retaliates in any sort of form, Vanguard or State Street would also lose profits.
Yep.
So it bequeaths them to not blow the whistle. It bequeaths them not to get them in trouble. I guarantee you all three of these companies are doing terrible things, illegal things behind closed doors, insider trading in the lot. So to say that these companies would need some sort of legal reason for them to get in trouble is a silly argument.
It's a dumb argument.
It holds no water.
And plus, that person that was trying to go back and forth with me, I was just dropping facts, and then they didn't like that, and then they tried to like just insult me at that point.
Absolutely.
And they tried, it's the dumbest crap ever. I was like, I don't argue with stupid people. I'm done.
I liked it that the PR account for BlackRock tried to get on it as well.
Oh, and they never responded to my thing.
Of course not.
And they didn't respond because I went to their page and commented on one of their other things too. They didn't respond to that either. Buttholes. I almost said it's.
I know what you were going to say,
but I called them a butthole. So, but anyways, so let's move on from all that. Let's keep going because I'm going into the next section. So all of this, like, so I'm gonna all of this, like the common owners, the quiet cartel, none of it is illegal. Someone could ask, right? Like. And it's because it sounds blatantly like very anti-competitive. Like, how is like BlackRock not in control, or sorry, not in like court for this? Sorry, I'm so used to saying BlackRock in control that I said that. But yeah, like, why are they not in court for this? And amazingly, it is perfectly legal under current law. So there's no regulation against one set of shareholders owning big stakes and competing firms. Antitrust laws focus on companies. Mainly focus on companies colluding explicitly in like prices or markets, right? So not on common investors quietly like kind of like holding on to their damn prayers, you know what I mean? So BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street can basically just sit at the top of every industry, like literally every industry, without violating any specific statute that's there. Statute. So regulators would call any kind of regulator would call this scenario horizontal shareholding. That's what they would call it, or also known as common ownership as well. But on the regular side, half the time they call it horizontal shareholding as well. And it's just one giant blind spot, guys. Like in the traditional like antitrust enforcement type narrative. So as long as these asset managers aren't making like secret agreements with each other, and their massive cross-industry kind of like stakes, like basically would never raise any kind of like illegal red flags ever.
It couldn't.
Yeah, it couldn't. And besides, when I had just said that like as long as like asset managers aren't making like any kind of like secret agreement with each other, well, that's if they're not. We know they are. They control it all. Bring it down there. I feel like singing, dude. I sing when I'm nervous. So the effect is arguably basically like essentially like I said before, the same as the cartel. So like just achieved through basically shared ownership, right? Yeah. So but let's keep going. So if these recent trends continue, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped one part of my notes. Even top economists and legal scholars are like totally freaked out by this, by the way. If you guys didn't know this, they are freaked out by it. 100%. Like the Harvard researchers Lucian Bebchuk and Scott Hurst, they have warned that the big three have grown so dominant that they could soon cast 40% of all votes in major companies' elections within the next decade and over 41% within 2 decades. So just think about that. You got 3 financial firms potentially controlling near half the shareholder votes, right? In most of corporate America. And in 2018, the big three already accounted for roughly 25% of votes in S&P 500 board elections. So they each hold 5% or more of almost every large company stock, collectively averaging 20% ownership of S&P 500 companies.
Insane.
And because passive index funds vote on like all those shares on behalf of investors, basically a unified big three block can decide 1/4 of the vote without any help whatsoever. So basically, if this trend, oh my bad. So basically, oh my goodness, that hurt. I almost gave it like a big cough right there. So basically, if this trend continues, right, like the big three effectively like a shadow, this is like a shadow control system for the market on all this. Like policymakers basically are only starting to grapple with this like the spectacle of a giant big three. They're just now starting to grapple with it, man. And so what does it mean for our economy, you know? And someone could like jump in and be like, well, they're really big across, so, and they're really that big across the board. Like someone could ask that, like, are they really that big across the board? Like, give me an idea. How present are like BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street and different sectors? And in a word, I would say ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous?
Oh yeah, ubiquitous, because they manage this insane amount of money, which is over $27 trillion combined as of 2025, and invest it in virtually every major corporation. So like BlackRock alone runs about $9 through $10 trillion, and its holding span all industries, man. It's all of them. So it's top 25 stock positions. So, of like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, whatever. Like, those are worth over $1 trillion and made up of roughly 30% of its entire equity portfolio in 23. So for a, what's the word, like a concrete sense, right? Basically, the big three's ownership stakes in leading companies, like, so, like we're talking like Apple, Vanguard, 7.7, 6.2, like 7.7% for Vanguard, 6.2 for BlackRock, 3.8 for State Street, and that's just Apple. I know we can just rattle on numbers.
Yeah, I can go on forever.
You look into energy, ExxonMobil, like just ExxonMobil, Vanguard, 8.3, BlackRock, 6.4, State Street, 6.0, healthcare, Pfizer, Vanguard, 8.1, BlackRock, 7.3, State Street, 5.0, 5% flat. It's literally a identical pattern, man, across the board. And this repeats across every single sector that exists. This should freak you
This should scare you.
F word out. I want to cuss so bad right now. And so from consumer brands, we're talking about Coke, Walmart, P&G, like or even to like telecom company, telecoms, like that whole industry, right?
Think AT&T, think Comcast, think
Comcast, yep, and AT&T, all of them. So, and the big three combined stake is often, in that what we just listed, like on the Comcast, like all those, we're talking 15 to 25%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just on those. So they're literally everywhere. And one analysis found BlackRock and Vanguard among the top 3 shareholders in 505 out of 505. 505 out of 50. Come on.
Can't make that up.
Come on. Tell me you're a prostitute without telling me you're a prostitute.
Right?
Yeah. Dude, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a dog.
That's what I was going to say, a dog.
I took your joke for you. I knew you were about to jump in the bit. So, yeah. So, but anyways, think about, let's just keep going. They don't need to micromanage, right? Their power is in their vote and voice across the board. So when you control 5 to 10% of a company's stock, you got, CEOs and boards. Sorry, let me reword that. When you control 5 to 10% of a company's stock, CEOs and boards pay very close attention to your preferences. Like, literally pay attention, guys, because BlackRock and Vanguard and State Street do actively wield all of that influence that's going on. So, despite the being passive index funds, right? So, in fact, they've publicly declared that they won't sit on the sidelines. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
They publicly declared they will not sit on the sidelines. So, as Vanguard's former CEO William McNabb put it, just because they use passive index strategies, quote, nothing could be further from the truth. That's what he said, bro. So, yeah, then, nothing could be further from the truth, quote unquote, than assuming they take a passive attitude toward governance.
I'm over here laughing. I apologize.
Oh, you're good.
Because some chatters are talking about Tim Waltz drinking horse fluids.
Tim Waltz. Tim Waltz.
The
he likes to put it in a glass.
And Kick keeps blocking the word cum.
Can I say it? Can I say it?
Of course.
We're more than 20 minutes in. Tim Waltz, he drinks horse cum. He likes to put it in a glass like wine.
They have to call it procreation fluid.
Well, he got a lot of procreation fluid from a horse. And he didn't use one of them little doohickeys, like the sleeves that he puts on the dongle and goes back and forth.
The camera was on me for most of that.
He don't do that. He does nothing like that. Not even a little bit. He got down there and he tried to put his whole mouth on it.
Yeah, no fleshlight for Tim Waltz.
No, he tried to put his whole mouth on it. And he's got a pretty big mouth. I've seen him on TV. He got very big.
Got a big shiny head to it.
Yep, Tim Waltz. And his horse adventures.
It's like a thumb massaging the horse's abs.
Dude. He's down there like... This has been rated G for...
And Larry Fink is spanking his ass the whole time, trying to drink his own pee.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so bad. Anyways, let's keep going. And I hope you're not a Tim Waltz fan. He likes the horses. So I hate you so much. So anyways, so someone, because the question is like why isn't there any form of like accountability into all of this stuff, right? Because because it literally sounds like an ultra concentrated form of power with no public oversight at all, and like, yeah, like it's a shadow control system, right? So, and what's so unsettling is this power, all this power exists within a giant gray zone. It's a gray zone. It's a gray area, guys. It's not elected. It's not widely understood by the public, and it's largely unregulated. So the big three operate mostly as buttholes for their investors.
Yes, they do.
People like us with 401ks and mutual funds, guys, people of our caliber, right? We don't direct how our index fund votes, right? We don't get to do that. BlackRock and Vanguard do. Like, dude, it's so blatant. And yet it's being allowed. So that retard that was on there on that X post, you're retarded. But yeah, dude, it's wildly ridiculous because you have to remember they manage other people's money, but vote those shares as if it's theirs, like as they see fit, right? What's going to benefit them? Like they know what they're doing. So, yeah. So, but let's keep going. Let's just like speed up a little bit. This is why people call this kind of stuff. I'll read this for you. So essentially, we've reversed a century of antitrust, right? Which broke up corporate monopolies by allowing a shareholder monopoly. So we switched out one thing for something even far worse. Or is it equally bad? It's probably equally bad.
It's probably equally as bad.
Yeah. And just to form like allowing a shareholder monopoly, basically, to form on the ownership side, which is messed up. So the public narrative hasn't really caught up to any form of this reality. So we still talk about companies competing, but behind the scenes, their owners, the people who are owning them, are often the same. So competition, pricing, innovation, all those. Like they're all just they all can be dampened because the top owners prefer stability and profit. Well,
of course. Doesn't every company just want to have profit? That the whole point of making a business is to gain money.
Mm-hmm.
The problem I have with all of this is how they are gaining this money. They're not gaining it by the benefit of the world. They're not gaining it on the benefit of the American people. They are making these people suffer.
Yeah.
Through weapons and war and economical and agricultural collapses.
Mm-hmm.
if it was to uplift and build houses that were affordable
Mhm.
and to produce food that was healthy and affordable, it would be a different story, right?
Yeah, it would be.
That's not what they're doing here.
No, it's not.
What they're doing is buying everything at, say, Coca-Cola, and then telling them make it as cheap as possible and sell it as high as fathomable. So
Mhm.
people are addicted to this stuff and they will buy it all of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They are like drug dealers to a mass food conglomeration.
Yeah. Because like, yeah, no, and just to add to this, right? Like basically we've oh sorry, I lost my spot. Sorry. Oh sorry, this is what I was about to say. Is that you were just saying like how about how prices rise, you're going to charge as much as possible, but do it as cheaply as possible, like something really low, but then skyrocket as high as possible.
Of course.
Well, that's because, like as plays on to what I was about to get into is just talking about how consumers pay the price. Like literally, as my awesome co-host just put. It literally the consumer pays the price. So through higher prices and less choice. So unlike a traditional monopoly, like CEO, right, who might be hauled before get up here in Congress and like what they did with Zuckerberg.
Well, yeah.
They threw him into Congress, right? Well, these index fund behemoths operate with literally I wouldn't even say it's a fraction of scrutiny. It's not even a fraction.
No, not even. They barely look at them.
Yeah, dude, it's literally like a fraction of any form of scrutiny on this stuff. And where was I? Sorry, I lost where I was because I looked over at you.
Aww.
But yeah, so you've got like not so. Let's talk about the not household names. They're not household names to most people, right? So you got Larry Fink. That he's becoming more of a name that people are starting to recognize a little bit. He is a little bit, but overall, he's not really a household name that the common person knows about. Or like Tim Buckley at Vanguard. Like they're not the villains being portrayed on the evening news in any capacity, but collectively, they exercise this quiet control over the economy that's 100% unprecedented to all of us. Like they have full control of it. So this is why some people call it influence engineering, is what they call it. And like BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, they have engineered this system where they win no matter who sells more smartphones or oil or medicine. They win no matter what.
That's the whole point.
And you pay the price.
That's the
I
whole
pay the
idea.
price. And it just ensures basically their interests are shaping the overall direction. So ensuring companies stay profitable, their companies stay profitable, compliant, and not rocking the boat too much, And the uncomfortable truth is that this isn't just investment, to be honest. It's not. This is influence engineering on a global scale, guys. This is a global. It's everywhere. When nearly every major company has the same trio at the top of its shareholder list, because the real consumer, the real customer, those companies answer is not you or me buying products. It's the big fund managers, man.
It's the whole
It's
idea.
the big one. So, but yeah, it's just wild. It's wild. I'm trying to debate whether I want to get into boardrooms and policy agendas and the things I found on that, or if I want to get into the voting influence and societal impact, or just jump into you know what? We should talk about the media. We're going to talk about the media. So we've seen, like, we've been laying out how BlackRock sits atop like all these industries, right? So let's go ahead and go into like how it reaches into like all the media and that we consume, and even any form of democratic or congressional process or of any kind. So this is about more. This part is just all more about. It's more than stocks and profits. It's literally just influence over information itself. That's all it is. That's where this comes into place. It's influence over this, And BlackRock's nasty little tentacles quietly wrap around all these major news organizations, social platforms, political corridors, like lobbying firms, all that stuff. So essentially, in essence, one firm can nudge all the narratives that shape public opinion and policy. So let's talk about like kind of like the overall media landscape here, right? America's news, like it may appear fiercely independent, right? Like you've got these independent companies out. You know, Fox tries to portray like they're independent of CNN and independent of ABC and or MSN or whatever. They try to act like they're independent, right? All separate from each other. But like, you know, like
can I give a number on lobbying real fast for BlackRock?
Yeah.
So BlackRock's during the years of 2010 to 2017 spent $19 million on lobbying.
What?
Yes. $19 million, and $1 million of it was for California. Now, I'm not sure what exactly they were lobbying in California for or about.
Probably Gavin Newsom's smart city.
Is more than likely smart cities, and is more than likely based around financial institutes and the laws regarding it.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind whenever you look at it, because even this year alone, lobbying for BlackRock, what does that number say? 1, 2, 3.
They can't hear you.
I know. They've done $1 million in lobbying in 2025 already. So they are either really ramping it up or they have done it all at the start of the year.
Yeah. And let's talk about the biggest shareholders in all this, though. Not just California.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Cameron.
So get this. BlackRock, Vanguard, just together own about 18% of Fox. Together, they own 18% of Fox, 16% of CBS, or Paramount, right?
Yeah.
13% of Comcast, which is also NBC Universal, and 12% of CNN and Disney. So to put this simply, guys, our nation's rival media empires, you know, all these different rivals, ultimately literally just answer to the same few shareholders. The editorial authority that comes with this is, how should I put it? It's hard to quantify. It's very hard to quantify it, like in my brain. It's because BlackRock doesn't send daily memos to newsrooms.
No, of course not.
No. But the potential, the ability to set any form of agenda is 100% undeniable. You cannot deny that they have the ability to do whatever agenda they want within any of these things. It's undeniable. So when every major network has the same top owners, it introduces like essentially like a subtle structural type alignment.
I mean, for a lack of
Right?
better words,
Right?
it creates a monopoly.
Yeah, it does.
I can't think of a better term for it at the moment.
Yeah.
Right? If
Like what we were saying earlier. Yeah.
if BlackRock owns a vast portion of all of these companies, they're going to want these companies to spew the same exact thing over
Yeah.
and over and over
Mhm.
again. Granted, if it's in ties with Vanguard, granted, if it's in ties with State Street, but these people are going to want the same thing, especially if they're owning a large stakeholder in war companies.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go and watch Fox News, they're like, "We're going to war, we're going to war, we're going to war."
Mm-hmm.
That would then lead people to think, "Hey, I think we're going to war.
I think we're going to war.
I think it's wartime, dude." And then
Yeah,
that will
no
then
shit.
increase the stakes and shares of these war companies like Palantir, like Nvidia, like Archer, like Lockheed and Martin. I'm just off the top of my head, tech companies and war companies.
Mhm.
So keeping that in mind, whenever you watch CNBC, CBC, CNN, Fox News, remember
Mhm.
they're owned by somebody.
Yep.
They're owned by these large companies who don't want
big
you.
three.
The big three. They don't want these. They don't want you to have a thought for yourself. They simply don't. Hey, how do you like that, by the way?
That's delicious,
Isn't
dude.
it though?
It's a very good IPA.
Texas made.
Texas, goddamn it.
Masterminds IPA.
That's what I'm talking about.
If you're wanting to sponsor us, give us a shout out, huh?
So, can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, get in there.
Okay, cool. I love getting in there, dude. I have a great time.
So
every
does
time.
this chat over at Kick. Good lord.
Apparently, Tim Waltz does too in the horse stables.
They're going crazy.
The kick? I love kicking it, dude. Hey, we're kicking it, right?
Bubblicious IPA is not made with horse cum. How dare you? How dare you?
Oh, that's great. But anyways, okay, so let's just keep going. So, Innovation in Tech Today actually said this. They put this out there. They said media behemoths that represent themselves as rivals as rivals in reality are owned by the same company, which is enabling BlackRock to direct narratives globally and influence and have full influence on geopolitics on a grand scale.
Huh.
Innovation in Tech Today, we're talking about that. They were putting it out there. They were talking about it too. So one might go, wait, are you saying that BlackRock and friends literally own chunks of all these media companies?
BlackRock and friends.
Yeah, BlackRock and friends. Like the same BlackRock that's on Wall Street with the word BlackRock on that big fancy building over there, and is also behind the scenes at CNN and Fox News. That's exactly right.
Yes, that is exactly what we're saying. Yes.
That's exactly right. And it sounds like it literally sounds like a conspiracy, like fever dream, dude. All of it does. When you first start looking into it, it sounds like a fever dream, whatever. But it's just one giant corporate ownership, essentially. So let's run through some numbers, just to close this part out. Let's run through some numbers because I'm actually almost done with all my stuff.
Oh shit!
Yeah. I was speeding, man.
Yeah.
I skipped over stuff that was a little redundant. It had some details.
You gotta stay over 55
we
miles per hour. We blow up,
dude. I gotta hit 88 miles per hour. The flux capacitor.
85.
I had to think for a second. I was about to say 78. And I was like, that doesn't sound right. No one puts a 7 there before an 8. That's unheard of. Numbers. Anyway,
that was a good bass.
Thanks, dude. I can't beatbox, so don't expect more to. Right? Fuck you.
That's my hidden talent.
I love it, dude. Dude, we should just have you do the intro song from now on. Beatbox your way in. Hey, I'm Evan. I'm with Smartly Uneducated. All right. So, but let's run some numbers, though. So as of 2025, the big three investors, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, hold significant stakes, like we said, hold a bunch of huge stakes in every major media conglomerate, essentially. So Disney, ABC, ESPN, etc. BlackRock owns 7.2% of Disney. Vanguard holds about 8.6%. State Street about 4.3%. That's roughly 1/5 of Disney's shares controlled by 3 financial firms, the big 3. Comcast, NBC Universal, Sky, MSNBC, etc. BlackRock, 8.3%. Vanguard, 9.9%. State Street, 4.5%. State Street is 4.5% of Comcast stock. Comstacks.
Don't do
what?
I fucking knew it.
These passive investors collectively are Comcast's largest owner, even above the Roberts family, who founded the company. Dude, that's unheard of. Then the founder, So, but then let's say Fox.
Well, that's a common thing with BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. They are typically owning more than the founders.
Yeah.
Because these founders are oftentimes huge companies that begin to fail. And as they fail, BlackRock swoops in there and says, oh, you already have a large audience. Let me steal what you're failing on, boost you back up, and now we own it.
Yeah, dude.
And now we tell you what to do.
It's so messed up, bro.
Oftentimes it can be good.
No, it can be. It's a dual-edged sword.
It really is.
It's double-edged sword.
Because they are able to save companies that are failing that have a huge hold on society.
Yep.
Say the real estate market. But should it fail? Should these things fail?
Should they fail?
Yes.
Yes.
If you can't fix your company,
That's why they made Blue Chew.
wait, we're not sponsored. Don't do that.
Got to take that pill, dude.
That would then bring in a new era of something. Do you have how much more do you have? I want to say something.
No, you can say your thing.
Because
depends on how long. You got 2 minutes. No,
BlackRock has a huge impact
winger.
on the new fintech, financial technology.
Oh, yeah.
They are a huge player in the game, and they have been saying the opposite for the past 10 years. They're saying things like, don't invest in Bitcoin. Now, let me tell you a fun stat about BlackRock and their amount of Bitcoin that they have. Bitcoin is the largest holder in America with 706,000 Bitcoin.
Oh, my God.
That is
Yeah.
that is a scary amount.
It is a scary amount.
Granted, it's in their iShares Bitcoin ETF, but that's how they do this. They take your money that you invest and they put it into something else. They know that something scary is about to happen with this, and so they are the largest holder in the world with this.
Dude, the English words that we use that define things, I feel like
Hey, rattle them off.
Can't do it. Corruption, monopoly,
Fear-monger.
totalitarian control, authoritarian control, like fear mongering, propaganda machine controller.
Yes.
Like the works. Economic,
scare tactics, economic downfall, economic upturns, economic control.
I just feel like they're all these words. It doesn't matter which one you use. It's just an understatement, man. That's all it is. Sorry, Alex Jones popped up on my side with laser vision. He picked me up and shook me like a dog. But no, like, yeah, dude, like it's the words, the definition for these words are like, for me, it just feels like an understatement.
Yeah,
like there's got to be a new word created, like butt muncher 2001.
Piss drinkers.
Yeah, grandma piss drinkers.
Yes,
that's what they are, dude. They're going after your pensions, right?
I don't know how that is.
I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there, dude.
BlackRock is the devil.
He's a devil.
It's what is that? That's the water boy.
Yeah.
Oh, Gatorade's the devil.
That's all I thought.
Water.
Because I was just about to say, I was like, Mama, who owns the most stock? Do they really control the economy? Nah, BlackRock don't control the economy. Mama does. Like that's all I thought. She was like, Mama does, dude.
Mama, I think I want to invest. No, BlackRock's the devil. Don't invest with BlackRock. But Mama, they make everybody rich. They don't make nobody rich.
Mama's rich. In debt. What? But
why's everything got to be the devil with you, Mama?
Oh man. Oh, that's good.
That's a nice sight. That's a nice sight, right?
That's good, dude.
That's a nice uplifter after this devastating blow.
It is.
Now,
Fox Corporation.
I would allow them to own
News.
10% of this show.
No, you own 48% of this show. I'm just taking 2% just for funsies.
What happened to the other 50%?
Oh, that's mine. I got 52.
What the?
That's not fair.
Ben is BlackRock.
That's true. I do own a BlackRock. I found one outside.
Oh, is it obsidian?
It's just
coal.
It's been spray painted.
It's just painted. It's
dude.
just a painted concrete.
It's not even like true black. It's like kind of like a dark gray. I didn't put enough layers.
Gunmetal.
Yeah, dude. Oh, you can call me Gunmetal Ben. Oh, dude. Oh, but Fox Corporation, Fox News, Fox TV, all that stuff. BlackRock 5.5%. Vanguard 6.2%. State Street 5.2%. Fox Corp. State Street is 5.2% of Fox Corp. The Murdoch or Murdo. I don't know if it's Murdoch or Murdo. You know how sometimes they do that where there's a CH on the end?
Correct.
It's either Murdoch or Murdo.
It's Murdoch.
That's what I assumed. The Murdoch family trust still has voting control, but in economic terms, though, the big three are they overshadow them, as stakeholders in Fox's, success. Essentially, they overshadow them. It's insane. So Warner Brothers Discovery, like CNN, HBO. When I say Warner Brothers, I'm talking about Warner Brothers Discovery, which is CNN, HBO, Warner Brothers Film, the works. Warner Brothers Discovery. If you don't know what that is, that's the new name because in the 80s they merged. I think it was the 80s they merged, and they used to be whatever Warner and Discovery was its own thing, and then they merged together.
You talking about AT&T and Singular?
No. Talking about Warner Brothers Discovery.
Oh.
Yeah, they were two separate entities, and then they merged together in like the 80s or some shit.
Will they become Warner Discovery?
I didn't name them. That's what they did. That's what they did, man. Don't judge me. But anyways, BlackRock, 7.0%. Vanguard, 10.4%. State Street, 6.8%. That's nearly a quarter of CNN's parent company in the hands of 3 shareholders. They have full control, everybody.
Don't you hate that?
Yeah, it's insane. Like Paramount Global, CBS, Paramount Pictures, BlackRock, roughly is 6 to 8%. Vanguard, 10 to 11%. State Street's around 7.7 to 8%. Like even here, where like the Redstone family controls CBS via like their voting shares, BlackRock and the other 2 giants are the top economic owners of it. So, like, so someone could like throw something in there and be like, like those, and be like, oh wow, those percentages are staggering, right? Like when you spell it out, 5%, 10%, sometimes 20% combined, blah blah blah. It hits home that a tiny group, it hits home that like a tiny group of investors effectively owns a big chunk of our, news outlets, right? And the same names keep popping up across the board. And the thing is, it's like, well, exactly.
Yeah.
BlackRock doesn't act alone in any capacity. Like it moves almost in near lock and step with Vanguard and State Street. In fact, these 3 often vote as a block.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. On corporate, anything that's corporate matters, and it's all coordinated by like, what is it called? Centralized, I think it's stewardship teams.
Okay.
That's what, it's all coordinated by that.
So you hear the term deep state. Who do you think of?
CIA.
You need to think of
or
the big
or
3.
NATO.
You need to think of the big 3.
I know, and that's where my brain is shifted. I'm saying that's where I was previously.
Yeah, you need to think BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. These are the people behind the smoke and mirrors. These are the people who are saying you need to go green. You need to drive an electric vehicle. All the while, they're owning fossil fuel companies and doing more and more fossil fuel based concepts to ruin the world. But they're the people who behind assassinations. They're the people behind global manipulation. So when you think deep state, don't think Hillary Clinton. Don't think Barack Obama. Don't think Russian.
That's an abomination.
You need to think the big 3.
Yeah.
BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. These are the people, these are the organizations who are running the world.
Yeah.
Whether
undoubtedly.
Whether you see it as a capitalist benefit or not.
Yeah.
You can be brainwashed and see it as a good thing. You can be brainwashed to see it as a bad thing. You just need to understand where it's coming from. Plain and simple, right?
Yeah.
These 3 large corporations back in 2011, 2012, they are the 0.0001%ers who are running everything. They got scared and they sat down and went, well, oh shit. The people are really fucking mad at us this time. So mad that they might rebel enough to bring about real change. And after 30 years of a neoliberal control, people are demanding an alternative to work.
Yeah.
So they brought back Make America Great Again.
Do you really think it was them?
Yeah.
Do you think it was them, though?
Yes.
Because they wanted Senor Trump to bite the dust.
Yeah, because he was going off the books.
Wasn't he already going off the books?
Trump's also invested in Vanguard and BlackRock and State Street.
Yeah. No, he is.
So if his company is controlled by this as well, I mean, it's a whole problem. It's fucking
facts.
bad, bro.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. And the result of all of this to just kind of like summarize it into like a label, it's like an unofficial cartel of media type ownership. Like it's just an unofficial cartel running the media, and they don't do like a day to day, like like they don't do a day to day micromanaging any kind of like news content, but they set all the guardrails within which media companies operate essentially. So think about it. If you're a network executive, your biggest who your biggest shareholders are. The same firms that that own your competitors essentially, right? Or not even essentially, they own the competitors. And there's an implicit understanding not to essentially rock the boat.
Yeah.
Don't rock it, because you won't likely see MSNBC calling out BlackRock or their power or any of their influence. They won't. Or Fox News doing an expose on Vanguard. They won't. Because that's just biting the hand that feeds you.
Well, of course.
They're not going to do that in any capacity. So, like, yeah. What we're talking about, like, what we're trying to bring to the table here for everyone on this episode is we want you to notice something important. That, in this sense, on this side of things, the influence here is less direct, like censorship, right? And more agenda setting. That's all it is. On this side of it, like this particular narrative we're talking about right now, this aspect of it. It's less direct censorship and just more agenda setting. So
who do you think?
And it's all by sheer financial clout.
Who do you think?
Right?
Well, yes and no. But who do you think? There. Who do you think promoted identity politics?
Me.
How dare you, you bastard! No, but yeah, for real, who do you think who created identity politics? It was these big three people: BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. Boom! I'll say it again: BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street invented the identity politics. Men against women, white against blacks, gays against straights, etc., etc., etc. Because they wanted to control a narrative.
Yeah.
So you would go spend and buy their products, then they would have more control to then take over what? The government, the world, and keep everybody occupied.
Yeah, because just to throw this in there, it wouldn't take, like, it would not require a phone call from, let's say, like Larry Fink or something, right? Calling them or something, because self-censorship is basically this natural byproduct of common ownership.
Dude, this gets me so mad.
Oh no, it pisses me off. But but on the positive side, if BlackRock as a shareholder pushes for certain, like, let's say, like initiatives or something, like say a greater focus on ESG, which is environmental social governance issues, major news, any kind of like major news organization might be more inclined to produce content aligned with those themes. So the editorial slant that would be there can suddenly shift essentially to keep basically powerful owners happy. Like that's what it really comes to. And like, so for instance, take like the climate change coverage that was going on, all the climate change bullshit, right? BlackRock has been vocal about climate change risk in finance. They've been vocal about it. So, we've seen all these different media outlets, like even like the traditionally like kind of like conservative ones, they would give more attention to like ESG topics in the recent years.
This ESG stuff is,
I know, it's dumb.
Asinine.
Is that purely coincidental public interest, or is it like partly shareholder influence, right? Like, it's a question. Like, would it be that or that? Like, which one would it be? But it is hard to say. Like, it's hard to say which one it would be. But the alignment is, something that you need to know, because it all lines up. So it opens a door. It opens a very big door.
A very big door. It's a double door French door.
Because if there are topics that threaten like the big three's business model, right? Like critiques of like index fund power, right? They would seldom get any kind of like prominent play in the same outlets. They would get like it's a no-brainer. It's the same it's like this soft power of ownership. It's a soft power ownership. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
But But yeah. So here, I'll give a weird example, right? So it's like a gravity field, right? It's like a gravity field. We can see it directly. We see its pull. It's not just the media. You mentioned democracy too. Elections. How does BlackRock show up there? They're not running political ads, right? Not exactly. But they are absolutely involved in politics, though. 100%. If, like BlackRock itself can't endorse candidates, right? On like the evening news. They can't endorse a candidate, but they can use more traditional levers.
Of course.
Like money and people. They can control and influence the whole thing. So let's start with the money. BlackRock has a corporate PAC, Political Action Committee, and its employees, including top executives, will donate liberally to campaigns.
Yeah.
So in the, like, for instance, 2024 U.S. Election cycle, what we just went through, there are contributions that are linked to BlackRock totaled roughly around $206 million. And it was basically like this bipartisan, what's the word for it? Like, I always hate saying this.
Bipartisan is a word.
Oh, no, there's a word I was about to think. Anyways, I'll just keep moving. But so, like, for instance, BlackRock affiliated donors have hundreds of thousands to committees like the Democratic National Committee, which is over 440,000, and the National Republican Senator Committee is around $128,000. They basically max out the powerful, like, incumbents of both parties.
Yeah, and
like from Hakeem Jeffries and Kamala Harris on the left, all the way to Nikki Haley on the right.
Yep.
And like this isn't like ideological. It's just instrumental, man. That's all this is. It's BlackRock ensures it will have the ear of whoever holds the power. It ensures it, plain and simple. Like as Larry Fink once whipped out of his mouth, was, quote, "It doesn't matter who wins." He said that.
Yeah, I know.
He said it doesn't matter who wins a given election, because BlackRock will be positioned to essentially thrive no matter what, regardless. Mm-hmm. It will always be there. And on top of campaign cash, there's just direct lobbying that happens.
Hey, I've also said that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who wins.
It doesn't. I say it too. But it's a little bit different when they say it.
It's a daunting statement.
Very, very.
Because it has different underlining meanings than when I say it. Because when I say it, I'm like, yeah, I still got to go to work. When Larry Fink says it, he's like, yeah, I'm still going to control the world.
Yeah. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's a different
so
story.
Messed up. So basically, BlackRock essentially like has embedded itself in the halls of government, all of our halls of government, by providing personnel.
Mm-hmm.
And when, like, for instance, like when President Biden took office, he picked 3 BlackRock alumni for his top economic posts.
I said it earlier.
I know you did, but I just got to it in my notes. You jumped, you got ahead of me on that one, but I just hadn't gotten to it yet. And like Brian Deese.
Yeah.
You already mentioned him. I'm not even going to mess with him since you already touched him. But then you've got like Wally Adeyemo.
Yep, I said him as well.
Oh, you did. Oh, that's right, you did. But yeah, so like I'll just move on from this. I think the thing is like the question is, why does it matter, right? Like you need to ask yourself, like, why does it matter? Because, and the reason is because when any form of like policymaker or effectively part of the BlackRock family, whether it's like prospectively or retrospectively, they're far less likely to challenge BlackRock's empire completely.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we saw this when the Federal Reserve tapped BlackRock to manage trillions in bond buying during the 2020 crisis, which was a huge profitable contract with almost no public debate. There's no oversight, nothing. How could officials eject? BlackRock's people were there. Were their people. Like, how could they object to it, right? And this right here blurs the line between public interest and BlackRock's interest. That's all it does. And so it's like Larry Fink himself sits on the board of the Council on Foreign Relations. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah. One of the most influential foreign policy think tanks, as well as the board of trustees of the World Economic Forum, which I know you already knew that one, right? Yeah, you already knew that one. But none of these are like partisan institutions. Like they drive a consensus among elites globally, guys. Like when the CEO of BlackRock has appeared among global like policymakers, it essentially cements BlackRock's role as this like strategic player in economic control. So it means BlackRock's perspectives on, let's say, globalization or climate risk get an amplified voice in the papers. Conferences at Davos happen. They have influence in there.
Invention of DEI.
Op-eds in major, that too, and op-eds in like any kind of major newspaper in general. Like you name it, man. They are in. It's there, and so like moreover, like BlackRock funds research initiatives usually under the radar. But for example, sponsoring academic research on financial markets or quietly supporting think tanks essentially that align with all their agendas.
Yep.
So like of like quote unquote free markets, but friendly to giant asset managers, right? So this is what I'm calling soft power at its finest. This is what I call it, and like, because it's shaping the, what's the best way to put this?
Global infrastructure?
Intellectual environment.
Yes.
In which policy decisions are made. I feel like that's the best way to.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good way to put it.
That's very well said.
Because it's like, because it would be on the like intellectual side of it. But yeah, dude, it's horrible. Like there's a bunch I could get into, but I'm gonna close us out. I'm gonna close this out. I'm gonna wrap it up. The thing is this. So this is my closing. All this is basically like kind of like my closing remarks, but also just in general, just finishing this out. So SEC filings and market stakes. BlackRock's own SEC filings reveal all of its market dominance. It's all public. You can go look it up, which is in those links. One of them is in there. It's all those links we put in the chat. Like it's like Q2 2024, like Form 13. Q2 2024 Form 13F shows 5,277 equity holdings worth about 400. Sorry, I'm trying to do it. It's a big number. I'm just saying $4.418 trillion. Oh
my God.
I said screw it. I'm going to simplify that because
4.18.
Yeah, $4.418 trillion.
$4.5 trillion.
Yeah. So top positions include like Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon. So like in practice, BlackRock is a major shareholder in nearly like every large company. Its holdings amount to over 7% of the S&P 500 by market cap, and together with Vanguard and State Street, which make the big three again, in case anyone's tuning in late in the game, are the largest shareholders in roughly 88% of S&P 500 firms.
88%.
Yes. So these public SEC reports, this just confirms that BlackRock controls vast stakes in everything across U.S. markets, but it doesn't stop there. It goes global too, because they're involved with China, they're involved with Russia, they're involved with everybody, dude. But no, let's break down the whole corporate. But let's just move on. So BlackRock's influence, it extends inside corporate boardrooms. I know I mentioned that. Oh, well, I didn't get into my specifics on that, but this will summarize it for you guys, because we're going to do another episode on this in the future, and continue where we left off and fill in any little details we missed out just because of time. But its directors and executives sit on or sway keyboards of major firms. So, for example, BlackRock, director, how do you say his name? Adebayo? I don't know how to say them. Ogunlesi?
I'm not even gonna help you. I
don't
love it
know.
when you mess up names.
Dude, it's a foreign name. I can't get on that. Also serves as lead independent director of Goldman Sachs. CEO Larry Fink himself sits on the boards of the World Economic Forum, and the Council on Foreign Relations, linking BlackRock to basically elite policy networks with about $9 trillion in assets, and that's in 2021. So BlackRock can exert its voting power as it can exert its voting power at shareholder meetings, but in 2021 it voted against professionals globally. So, which is actively pressures boards like on governance and ESG issues, So it just this links like all the combined, take this and it combined with its shareholder clout, all that crap. It gives BlackRock a direct seat at the table in full corporate governance. So, and the thing is, this is like. Like the whole lobbying thing and the think tanks. Like, this is revolving door appointments, man.
Yeah.
That's all this is. Like, many BlackRock, pretty much anyone who's a BlackRock veteran have held top government roles and vice versa. They held a role there, they held a role over there. It's back and forth. And like, we already mentioned. Well, I think you had said it, Thomas Danilin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned him, which is Obama's national secretary advisor, which is now a chairman of BlackRock's Investment Institute. Brian Deese, nuts, former BlackRock Sustainable, nuts is not a part of his name. That was just a joke. Brian Deese, that's his name. I heard that fart. He was the former BlackRock Sustainable Investing head, and now Biden, he was part of Biden's National Economic Council director. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, and then you mentioned Wally Adamo or whatever you say his name. But then there's Michael Pyle. Did you mention him earlier?
I did not know.
So Michael Pyle was a former BlackRock
I did
strategist. Oh, okay. But he was also with the Biden-Harris Deputy National Security Advisor for Economics. And these personal ties, whatever, literally just show a two-way revolving door. That's all it shows. And between BlackRock and the government. And so, according to Open Secrets data, BlackRock affiliated PACs or PACs, employees and contractors gave about $2.6 million to federal candidates in 2024, and its lobbyists spent roughly $2.84 million on federal lobbying in 2024. So over 70% of its lobbyists are former government officials. Over 70% of its lobbyists are former government officials.
Yeah.
BlackRock also
who?
BlackRock. You just tripped me up. BlackRock also cultivates think tank, like the influence on think tanks. They do. It is literally listed among like corporate members of like Council on Foreign Relations. CEO Larry Fink, he serves on the WEF and CFR boards.
Mm-hmm.
And all these like campaign contributions, like contributions, registered lobby, expenditures, and institutional partnerships. It literally provides a clear, documented evidence of BlackRock's power in all of like policy and politics and how the world operates, and especially our world, because we're here, we're all stuck in it. So, yeah, and that's all I got for right now. Oh, well, no, I'll leave you guys with this. It's kind of like I did with the cold open, and then I'll be done.
Cold close.
It's like, yeah, it's cold close, so bear with me, everybody. So, like I had said before, if BlackRock owns everything,
Who?
BlackRock?
Yeah.
Blackhawk?
Almost got it.
BlackRock.
BlackRock.
Owns everything. Homes, farmland, media, pharmaceuticals, tech, energy, and you own nothing. It's like, well, what does that make you? You know what I mean? Like, this isn't just hypothetical. what we've been laying out, like this is the logical conclusion of unchecked like institutional ownership. So like you are no longer a participant in a free market, man. You're not. You're no longer a participant in the free market. You're a product in it. Do you guys not get that? You're a product in it. Like I hope that sinks in because this is the psychological trap. The phrase "you will own nothing and be happy" isn't just a World Economic Forum meme or something, right? Like it's not some like little thing about that. It's just a blueprint for essentially like centralized control. That's all it is. And BlackRock doesn't just invest, it freaking dominates.
Mm-hmm.
So like they own the companies you buy from. They own the media you watch. They manage your retirement through your 401k. They own the data you generate. They also influence the policy that governs you. Like, you don't need a tinfoil hat for this, man. Like, you know, everyone else is like, oh, you're going to put on your tinfoil hat. You know, you hear that stupid crap.
All of the time.
It's like, you just need to follow the money. That's it. Just follow the freaking money. And it shows. It's transparent. Because the question is, like, who's really in charge? Because if BlackRock owns controlling stakes in nearly every single sector, guys, while working alongside Vanguard and State Street, like, it means they control and own everything. They have the ultimate say. They have it wrapped up nice and neat. So like healthcare, Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, tech, like we said before, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Google, like, you know, food, Nestle, PepsiCo, Unilever, right? Like defense, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, Boeing. I know we didn't really we didn't single out Raytheon or Boeing. Lockheed Martin was just more of my umbrella term.
I shared a
people.
spreadsheet, like an Excel spreadsheet of all of the major companies that when what they own percentile-wise, money-wise, and shares-wise on our channels. So if you really want to go into a deep dive of the exact percentile that is always being updated, follow that link.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And facts, bro. Facts. But, you know, like housing, Zillow, Invitation Homes, private equity groups that they fund. You know, this is a closed feedback loop, guys. That's what this is. This is what we're spelling out right now. This is a closed feedback loop. Excuse me, I had to burp.
Man, your R's are getting goofy today.
Oh, it's because I keep having to burp, and I'm like forcing it not to happen because I'm trying not to blow up the mic. But
dude, let them rip. Beyblade style, dude.
Yeah, no crap. Oh yeah, dude, let it rip, Beyblade. But you know, like I said, this is literally a closed feedback loop, guys.
I can read literally everything they own with every company right now.
Because, let me throw this in there. BlackRock makes money when you get paid.
Yep.
Because they own the banks.
Yep.
When you buy. Because they own the stores. When you watch. Well, they own all the platforms. Or they own the platforms that you're looking on. Well, let's say you invest. Well, they manage all the funds. And then, you vote. Well, they shape the policy through ESG and think tank lobbying, so your vote doesn't matter. So this is what happens when markets no longer serve the people, guys. Like this is when free market and actual real traditional capitalism gets perverted. And that's it, man. That's all I got for now. I had to skip around some stuff because there was other details, but I had to skip through chunks of my notes. Not because it wasn't like there wasn't fruitful information. It was just more of it was going in even more in depth into specific things. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to skip over it because of time, and we'll do another episode where we can actually.
We'll always be talking about BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. That's going to be an ongoing topic because it really shapes the global economic upsides and downsides of our world. Every sort of aspect of your reality is formed by these people, whether you want to admit it or not. There is always going to be somebody trying to do something. So keep your head on a swivel, stay smart, stay educated, stay hanging out with us. We're always going to be here. Make sure you follow along on every platform. If you are lighthearted, don't go over to Kick because those guys are they have gotten insane over there.
We love Kick though.
Oh yeah, we love.
Please
Kick,
go to Kick still. Just
but if
be prepared.
Yeah, if you're not lighthearted, don't go over there. Wait, if you are lighthearted, don't.
Yeah, that's
don't read the chat.
Let's get down to business to defeat. Oh, we're not doing Mulan.
I don't know how that fits into there.
I don't know,
but
it just popped in my head.
Yeah, follow along. We go live
man.
every single week. We also post this stream that's going to be updated so you can watch it and listen to it on all your preferred podcast audio platforms. Share this to your grandma. Play it on the loudspeaker over at Walmart or Costco. Send this to Larry Fink. DM it to him. Send this email and live stream over to Larry Fink.
Yeah. And whatever X account that was apparently like, which they never responded to my comment or anything like that. Whatever PR account, if it is their PR, actually something like that. Suck it, Trebek. Suck it. Because I responded with facts.
Have you looked up Larry Fink's house?
No.
You should. Right now.
All right, I'll do it right now.
There's a weird concrete structure.
Really?
That I'm not sure what it is. He only lives in a 10-acre plot, which I know I say only.
Is this it?
Yes, but there's a go. What was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over. Yeah, that one there. Look at that. What the hell is that big concrete slab?
Let me switch it over so people can see that.
What is that?
Is that like... Oh, dang it. Let me open this in a new tab. And I'll jump over to that, and then I can...
So you see he has his villa, his 3 mansions. It's a 10-acre horse farm, so he makes horses here. But what is that?
It's like it's been removed. This thing right here.
Either removed or it's like a warehouse.
It almost looks like it's just a concrete pad, man.
Like, what the hell is that?
Because typically, like, you look at this house, like, there's no shadows.
There's nothing.
No, that tells me that, either Google, well, I mean, he's got investments in Google. Like, he owns the, he's got the, all that crap. Like I said, he controls everything. So I guarantee you, that may not be a concrete pad. That may be something else.
Definitely something else.
And he's getting them to edit the images. Because we already know Google does that.
Yes, they do.
So.
My house is blurred on Google.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Just ask him to. You just go find your house on Google.
Blur my stuff.
All right, yeah. Hey, excuse me, Google. Can you blur my stuff?
Even though we just exposed you.
You talking about your junk? My stuff.
Yeah.
Blur my stuff out.
Blur my junk out. Do I got huge balls? They're gonna need to use at least two whole frames.
2 pixels, dude.
2 pixels, dude. I got like 10. More like half a pixel.
But yeah, I mean, this is a long-winded show to say that BlackRock sucks.
They control and influence everything.
You can see it as a capitalist win. Because it is. This is like capitalism at its finest. But as you said before, this is a perverted version. This is like the worst outcome for capitalism.
Yep.
And if you can't see the forest through the trees in this aspect, I got no words for you.
Yeah. I got nothing.
I am one for capitalism. I like it. I think it works fairly well sometimes.
Yeah.
This just really makes me want to go and buy food and things from farmers more.
This makes insider trading, like with Congress people, like people in Congress and political power. This makes insider trading look like, oh, he jaywalked.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the fact that anyone defends this, and when you see the data and you look at this stuff, and you don't see what we're talking about. Especially when you do the research and see the things that he says, and you actually see the numbers, and you see where they're in and where they're at, and who they're tied to, what they do. This is control. They control you. They own you.
The clip of
they own me.
The clip of him saying at WEF, "You will own nothing," and be happy about it, is freaky because the crowd applauds and cheers.
Yeah, dude.
They're like, yeah.
That's because they're all part of it, man.
Of course.
Like, that's a good thing I don't wake up one day with the powers of Superman, because you guys would all be fucked. Laser vision. Oh, look, I can fly up there. Shoot him with the tank. Bitch, come on. Like, until Batman shows up, and I'm running,
you think
because Batman, you give him time to prep. I'm out of here.
I mean, what about gay Batman? They got the
even worse. He has time to prep, and he's gay.
ESG and DEI made a gay Batman.
I'm a straight Superman, so cover your butts. I hope I'm wearing my super underwear that he can't penetrate. Oh no, he's got kryptonite condoms. No, no.
What? What? You get the kryptonite dust, dude.
Dude, he got that kryptonite condom that broke through my undies. They were red. They were reddish before.
And you were wearing your bulge cup. It made your junk look bigger.
Yeah, dude. He found out that wasn't real. It was an illusion for the ladies.
Yeah, the kryptonite condom is a wild statement, and I love it. I'm here for it. Hello, everybody.
Hey, man, I'm not the first one to do a bit about kryptonite condoms. You can thank Kevin Smith for that back in Mallrats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, nice.
There's a whole bit that Rhodey does, and then Stan Lee shows up as a cameo.
That's awesome.
And he was like, kryptonite condoms.
That's genius.
oh, God. I love it. Anyways, that's all I got.
Yeah. Again, if you're hearing the sound of our voice, if you made it this far, we love you. We thank you. Mad respect to you if you made it this far. Follow along, say hello, DM us, email us. We're always here to talk. Say what's up. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. I'm Evan.
And I'm Ben.
Hasta
yeah,
la vista.
hopefully you guys tune in some more. This is the first time we've actually multi-streamed anywhere, like across everything, like with doing the podcast. So, yeah, we're gonna be doing this from now on everything. So, we'll catch you guys on the flippity flops. Bye-bye.
Bye.